So a little help for anybody that needs it. This is the MathXL 3.2 Assistance. I'm just going to look at some of these things with you guys real quick. Shouldn't take too long to do. This is the question 3. Now guys, your question will not necessarily be the same, but we have here two angles and another angle 62 degrees, and line L and M are parallel. That says to find the measure of angle 1 and angle 2. To do this, we notice that angle 1 is corresponding to 62 degrees, and angle 2 is a linear pair with 62 degrees, and it's also same side interior to angle 1. So, angle 1 is corresponding as congruent. So the angle 1 measures 62 degrees by corresponding angles theorem or postulate, whichever one they chose to use here. Angle 2 is 118 degrees either by same side interior to angle 1 or by linear pair to angle that's marked 62 degrees. Okay. This is another question that also uses those same type of things. This is question 3. Now angle 1 and angle 2 here are formed again by these two parallel lines. We have two transversals in this case. Okay. So you look at angle 1 and it shares a transversal with the angle that's marked as 62 degrees. And if you look at that, angle 1 and angle 60 and the 62 degree angle are on the same side of the transversal, and they're in between the two angles. So angle 1 is same side interior. Angle 2 is alternate interior to the other angle. If you'll notice that angle 2 is on the left side, and the 78 degree angle is on the right. Now these are different relationships, so they are different measure relationships too. Angle 1 is supplementary, so it's 180 minus 62 to end up with 118. Angle 2 is going to be congruent, so 78 degrees. Okay. For angle 5, now this is a situation where we have two angles on the same side, so this is also same side interior. Guys, if you look at this, is like a trapezoid situation. We have parallel lines here. We have these two angles, 6x and x minus 46. Now, since they are same side interior, right? You can imagine extending the lines. They are on the same side. This line here is the transversal, and these are the two parallel lines. They're going to be supplementary. Okay. So now look at how we set this equation up. So the first angle is x. The second angle is x minus 46. Add them together to equal 180. Combine your like terms. X plus x is 2x minus 46 equals 180. Boom. Adding 46 to both sides to cancel out the negative 46, and you end up with 2x equals 226 degrees. Okay? So now what? Well, if we solve by dividing by 2, we end up with x equals 113. And x minus 46 would be 113 minus 46, or 67 degrees. So this angle here, the top angle is 113 degrees, the bottom angle is 67. Question 6. This is very similar. In fact, it's the exact same topic one that we had previously. So we have a parallel lines, and we have an angle that says 9x and another angle that says 11x. Now, if you look at that, they're on the same side interior, so they are supplementary. So adding 9x plus 11x to equal 180 gives us 20x equals 180. Divide both sides by 20, x equals 9. Okay? So if x equals 9, then 9x is 81 and 11x is 99 degrees. Okay? Questions 10 and 11 are similar like this. It talks about angles 1, 2, 3, or 4 in relation to the measured angle. It's 110 degrees. So if you're looking at angle 1, this is the same side interior, and it's supplementary, so we would subtract. So we'd find same side interior and that they are 70 degrees. And we have some options here. You look at the choices that we've got. It's clear, it's answer C. Now, if you're looking at the question, the choices here first, you're going to likely make a mistake. Or you might choose the wrong answer just because you're not thinking it through first. Answer the question first. Identify the relationship. We did this. Angle 2 is a corresponding angle. Angle 4 has no real relationship with angle this 110 degrees. We don't have a defined relationship. Angle 3 is a linear pair. You know what these angles are in regards to angle this 110 degrees. So figure that out first, and then determine if they are what they are. Now on these questions, the last few questions, I do not believe that you have to just answer them and hope you get them right. It's a little bit different. I didn't know that when I was putting it together that you didn't have that choice. But you can still get these, you can still do these as well as you can, and just, you know, really take your time and make sure that you got it correct as well as you think you can. Okay? In question 12 and 13. Now this is a little bit tricky. What you need to do is copy this picture. So draw the picture and then figure out, okay, what are the angles that are actually congruent? So you have AB and CD that are parallel to each other. That means that the line AD is a transversal, and it creates this angle here, angle A and angle D. And those are alternate interior angles because they're between the lines and they're on opposite sides of AD. Same thing with BC here. BC creates the angles B, ABE, and DCE. These two angles here are also congruent. Okay? And the last thing we have to consider is the angles in the middle. So angle AEB and CED are vertical. They're congruent. Angle AEC and BED are also vertical, so they're all congruent. So if we're looking to find angles that are congruent, that's what we do. So you mark them. So that's what it looks like. See, angle A and angle D, I put the double mark. Angle B and angle C, that's the single mark. And angle AEB and angle CED are the mark with a line through it. So these are three different angle hash marks that indicate that they're congruent to each other. But it doesn't say that we don't know anything about the other angles being congruent to the other angles. Now, some of them could be, but we don't know for sure. Now, breaking it down, what do we know? A is congruent to D, B is congruent to C, and AEB is congruent to CED. So you're looking at this and say B is congruent to C, oh, that's there. A is congruent to D, that's there, and AEB is congruent to CED. The only one that's not supported is option D, and that's our answer. Okay? So guys, that is it in a nutshell. That's how you deal with these types of questions. Now I'm going to leave this out there. I'm going to leave that everybody has an assigned thing. I want you to click through that, take notes as you need it. You can use that, keep it open while you're working with the MathXL 3-2. Now this doesn't go for everybody. Some people have already completed that, and I've seen people that have grades A's or even 100s. I have seen some people that have grades that are in the 40s or 50s that I do recommend you go back and kind of work on. But just keep this with you. You can use the video or the slide, but it's something that will hopefully help you out with this. Okay? Best of luck.